This is Abe Friedtanzer from Awards Buzz, and I'm so excited to be speaking with Patti LuPone about Agatha All Along. How are you, Patti?
I'm well, thank you, Abe. How are you?
Good. I'm scrolling through all my feeds and seeing clips from your Actors on Actors Broadway, conversation with George Clooney, which is very exciting. And
Very excited.
I'm mostly curious about what you think the overlap is between your Broadway fans and Marvel people who watched Agatha all along because they just watch everything Marvel puts out. Do you think that there is a lot of overlap between those two groups?
I don't know. I have no idea. You should figure that out because I have no idea. But I have had the experience where I'm on stage in London doing company, and somebody hands me a yellow diamond doll from Steven Universe, and I'm going, "Oh well, I've crossed over." And so but that has been my career for my entire career. I was I'm a trained actor from Juilliard. I was on the road in classical theater for 4 years, and the artistic directors of like the Arena or the Guthrie, or you know what I mean. They knew that I was a trained actor, and so I would be put into plays if they were taking them to Broadway. Other people knew I did Evita, so they would put me in musicals. And there was one season where I don't know if I opened or closed the season with Accidental Death of an Anarchist, and opened the season with Oliver, and then went off to do Les Mis, and then came back and did uh, LBJ the early years, and then went back and did, oh, I think in the middle of that, I did Driving Miss Daisy, and then did Anything Goes. I mean, that's been my career. So I think that if you know who I am, you know that there's a crossover, and I might introduce Broadway people to Marvel and Marvel people to Broadway. Who knows? But that's sort of what I've done for my entire career.
I love that. How familiar were you with the whole Marvel world before joining in this capacity?
Not at all. And still, because we were sort of an anomaly in Atlanta. We were at the Trillis Studios. I don't know if there is a Marvel studio per se, but we were at Trillis, and we were our own unit. When we were at Trillis, nothing else was. Oh yeah, Megalopolis was finishing shooting at Trillis. But then I think we were the only thing shooting at Trillis, and then the Witches Road was at the Metro Studios, I think. And I don't know what else was shooting there, but we were sort of this little isolated unit of witches that I didn't see any superheroes walking around like you would see in, like on a studio lot, right? You'd see like Batman or Superman or, whatever. I didn't see anybody, just us witches and the crew.
What do you like most about Lilia as a character?
Pardon me?
What do you like most about Lilia as a character?
That's a hard question because what did I like about Lilia? Well, I loved her, but I'm trying to think. I think ultimately the the wall she broke down to allow her pain to dissipate and to allow support and love into her life. The fact that she was astute and aware enough to become more empathetic and more compassionate. And but she wasn't, she was lost. She was a lost soul. Um, and I think that's clear in the episodes where, that when she talks to her mentor and saying, I need a coven. Basically, I need people in my life. And I think we all feel that way. You know what I mean? I think and it becomes harder and harder to find your tribe in today's chaotic world. Or maybe it's
Well, what,
easier to find a tribe. It's so specific.
well, what can you say about the tribe that you have for this show, about all of your co-stars and the fellow members of the coven?
I can say that I miss them, and we're still on a text thread that we started 2 years ago in Atlanta. Um, and I've said this ad nauseum that it's you don't necessarily find friends when you're at work. You might find one person that you will be friends with for life, or for 6 months or for a year or 2 years, but I know that these women will be in my life for the rest of my life. So we were a coven of friends. We are a coven of friends, as well as we were a coven of witches. We still keep in touch with each other. And when I just recently, when I was in LA for the for your consideration talk back, um, when I look into their eyes, I know that I'm looking at my friend, and I hope they feel the same way about me.
What was the shooting experience for the show like? I know I'm sure it was very effects heavy, at least what we see as audiences. Did you have a chance to watch afterwards and did it feel like what it was like filming also?
Oh yeah, it was all practical. There's very little CGI. It was all practical. And at one point, because of my age, Deborah Jo and I were not allowed to do a couple of things, but I had also broken my wrist, so I didn't. Thank God, I didn't have to go in the oven. But they also wouldn't let us go down. They wouldn't let Deborah Jo go down, and I couldn't because I had a cast on. Go down the water chute after the oven, and they wouldn't allow me to get swallowed up by the goo, and I really wanted to get swallowed up by the goo, but they wouldn't let me. It was it was challenging, physically challenging, uh, which we embraced. I don't think, I suppose it depends on your desire. See, I love a challenge, and I'm fearless on stage. And so give me more Gina. Do you know what I mean? So it was difficult. We were exhausted. It was, but we all embraced the challenge. It was very physical, very physical.
Do you feel like working in TV, at least in a show like this, is starkly different from performing on stage? And is it a different kind of physical demand?
No, not at all. I think, I don't feel that way at all. The only thing that's different is how disjointed the shooting is. You're shooting out of order more often than not. But no, I think you put the same energy into it. And it's a set's a set, whether it fills the sound stage of a studio, or whether it fills the stage of a theater. A set is a set. Um, I have to tell you that when we saw the Witches Road, which is was one of, if not the most beautiful set I had ever seen in my life. It filled the entire soundstage of a soundstage at Metro Studios. And when we went on to it, I think we all gasped, and I started to weep, because this is, we're in a profession that rewards us in so many ways. And it's all about our imagination. So when you step on a set like that, your work is done for you. Do you know what I mean? It's like, and that was one of the most spectacular things I'd ever seen. So working on that set was fantastic. I think we were on that for 2 or 3 weeks. And as I said, you're with lights and with Jack's writing. You just have to be there. That's all you have to do. Know your lines and be there. But I don't find it any different from being on stage, except there was no stage right and stage left. There's definitely an upstage and a downstage, but there was no exit, stage right and stage left.
It's
Actually, there
also
was.
nice.
You had to exit off camera, but I didn't think, oh, I'm exiting stage right.
Well, it's nice to see you also get to sing in this because I know you've done a lot of TV, especially recently some Ryan Murphy shows, but to get this opportunity to just the show really is a musical, and that's very central to a lot of this. How was that experience compared to what your expectations would have been?
Well, I didn't really know that we were going to be singing in it, but then, when it was when they said we were singing a song, and it was Bobby and Kristen Lopez, I went, well, finally, I get to work with them. Number one, finally, I get to work with them, and it was great to be in a recording studio in Atlanta with them in the booth, or rather, I was in the booth, and they were out, and they were directing me, and I went, this is stunning. This was like the cream on top of the cake. It was great. I mean, sometimes you're forced to sing. I mean, if I made an album of the songs I had to sing in Life Goes On, and what was it? Three Little Fishies and a Mama Fishy Too, the Hawaiian wedding song with Don Ho, The Wind Beneath My Wings, and there was, Broadway Baby. That would be the songs. And they had no idea how to present me singing. No idea. I mean, I went into the studio and going, These guys don't even know I know how to sing or I know what it is to be in a studio when I had to record them. And being in a studio with Bobby and Kristen was something so special. They're hit makers. They have stardust and gold in their fingertips. And so it was thrilling for me. And then, of course, we all recorded together. It was just so much fun to be a unit. Just, we were more often than not kept together as a unit as opposed to not. We'll record you, Patti, then you can go home. And then we'll bring in Sashir and she won't see what you have done. We were all together. It was great.
Really great. Well, I know you're very busy, but I'm curious, when you have free time, what do you like to watch, whether it's on TV, film, stage, etc.?
Well, right now I'm catching up on all my stories because I've been reading a lot. And the one I'm addicted to is When Life Gives You Tangerines, South Korean. It's fantastic. Fantastic. And of course, I've seen Adolescence and I'm just trying to think of the ones that I'm seeing. And I love Abbott Elementary. I think I have 2 or 3 more episodes of, what's the season 2 or 3? I don't know which season it is. So, and I have my little list that I have to catch up because, like I said, I've been reading, and my list. Well, there's Hacks, Slow Horses, Heartstopper, What We Do in the Shadows. What am I missing? What am I missing? There's other ones I'm missing, but those are the ones I have to catch up on. I've already seen Abbott Elementary. I've already seen, but the one I'm pushing right now is When Life Gives You Tangerines on Netflix. It's stunning. And it's South Korean. And unfortunately, with this one, the subtitles are slower than the camera. So I can't always catch what the dialogue is they're saying, but it's really fantastic.
What can you share about your experience? Obviously, there's a longer conversation available, actors on actors, but with the roommate.
Oh, I had a great time with Mia. Oh my God. It's like insane. That's my husband. It's insane that, we've been friends for years, but that the two of us together would be that kind of a unit. We're so different, yet we're so much alike. And we're so different that we play together beautifully. I've known her for years up here in Connecticut. And every night we had a blast. Every night we just went out there and had a really good time because it was just the two of us. And there's something to be said about when you find, and I would have to say this is true of Agatha, when you find acting companions, people that accept what you're doing and then throw it back to you. And I found that consistently on Agatha, and I absolutely found that with Mia, that you could take chances. And she, when they say throw the ball, catch it, I'll throw it back, that acting expression. We threw the ball to each other. We caught it and threw it back. And I think people should put Mia and I on stage together more often. It's pretty magical.
Share anything that you have coming up?
Nothing. So put it out there that I need a job. I'm
Do
doing
you
a lot of
feel like
singing.
that's great? Do you feel like there's anything that you haven't done that you know that you want to try in whatever medium?
I think I've done it all so far. I've done radio, I've done television, I've done film, I've done concerts, I've done stage. What am I missing?
It's pretty comprehensive.
Yeah, because I love what I do, and I've been given the opportunity to do it.
That's really wonderful. I so appreciate your attitude and your enthusiasm for what you do, and looking forward to whatever comes next for you.
Thank you very much. So am I.